Hello, good evening and welcome to ITV News. This is Friday night's calendar with Ian White and Emma Wilkinson.
Hello there. Here are tonight's main stories.
A landmark prostate cancer screening trial starts today as those with the condition call for men to get checked early.
Ward staff in Mansfield get ahead for heights as they raise money for the hospital's charity trust.
The Steel City prepares for Derby Day with both sides under pressure to get some much needed points.
And whatever you're up to this weekend, it's definitely less wintry, but don't put the gloves and scarves away just yet. Of course, all the detail a little later on.
First tonight, two calls for the introduction of a national screening programme that could save thousands of lives by detecting prostate cancer earlier and more accurately.
The government says it would like to see screening in place, but the decision must be evidence-led. So from today, a £42 million trial will be inviting men to come forward for testing. Fraser Maud has been to meet John Young from York, who was diagnosed with terminal prostate cancer in 2021.
So first things first, John, how are you feeling today?
I'm fine today, thank you, yeah. The medication I'm taking is doing very well, so...
That's the physical side.
Yeah.
Mentally, it must be tough.
Early days, very tough.
Talk us through those early days.
Yeah, well, as I said, the diagnosis was advanced, incurable, stage 3 to 4 prostate cancer. Spread into my bones, my pelvis and my upper thighs. So
right at the very start, the first diagnosis you had was the worst you could possibly have got.
Absolutely, yeah. Wasn't expecting it at all. Came out of nowhere. No real symptoms at the time, no pain, nothing that you would say there's something wrong here. My prognosis was 4 years if I had chemotherapy, perhaps another 6 months on top of that.
So you knew you had prostate cancer in the family, your father, your uncle, 2 cousins diagnosed with it. You knew to look for those warning signs, but those warning signs never came. Do you think if you'd been screened, it could have been a different story?
You would have seen that rise in my PSA. That would have been detected at an earlier stage. I'm not saying I wouldn't have got prostate cancer, of course I would. But instead of it being advanced, incurable, stage 3 to 4, I have 2 colleagues who've been tested very early on the back of me chewing at them all the time to get, they've been detected very early and all they're having to do is monitor them, keep an eye on it.
So as of today, there is a screening programme trial being put into place. Sadly, it's too late to help you, but it could potentially help thousands of others, couldn't it?
Definitely. Bowel cancer, cervical cancer, breast cancer, all have screening programmes. Prostate cancer, which is one of the biggest killers, doesn't have a screening programme. So yes, if they can get this screening programme in place, it's all the better for every man out there. It will be a wonderful thing.
So Prostate Cancer UK got you on your bike back in August. You did 400 miles, raised £1,000, which is incredible. This month they're asking people to try and walk 60 miles during the month of November. So if you're up to it, shall we go and see if we can do another half a mile or a mile of that?
Let's do a couple of miles now, yeah.
Excellent, thank you. And thank you ever so much for talking to us
No
today.
problem at all, no problem at all.
It's good to hear from John there. Well, as you heard in Fraser's report, there's a new prostate screening trial which is going to target men in our region from today. Well, a little earlier I spoke to Chiara De Biase from Prostate Cancer UK, and I started by asking her why there isn't currently a national screening programme in place.
So the way that we diagnose prostate cancer today has changed dramatically over the last 10 years. And we simply don't have the evidence yet on the scale that this transformed trial is going to deliver that tells us the best possible way to combine those diagnostic tests so that we've got the safest possible way to diagnose men at scale across the whole of the UK. The tests that we use currently are a PSA blood test, and it still has some pros and cons, but it's a really valuable way to tell us that something might be wrong with that prostate. And then men now go straight to an MRI test but we haven't yet worked out what type of MRI, when to do the MRI, and even looking at some of these really interesting innovative tests like a spit test. So the Transform trial is going to test all of those combinations to get the best possible way to finally get us a screening programme.
Now, I'm 54 years old, so I'm a man of a certain age, and this is pretty relevant to me, I would imagine. So how important is it that men do actually come forward for a test if they're invited to do so?
It's the only way we're going to get to a screening programme. It's desperately important. So the first trial centre opens today, and that's inviting men over 50 or for men from the black community from the age of 45. You'll get a letter from your GP. So the Transform trial is trying to mimic a national screening programme. So if you get one of those letters, we desperately want men to take part in the Transform trial. So show up for that. That's really valuable, that we can understand as much as we can about prostate cancer. And if you're not invited, or for everybody else in the public, we're raising up to £42 million to fund Transform, which will save lives for decades.
And we know that black men are twice as likely to get prostate cancer, so it's very important that they come forward.
That's right. We know traditionally black men have been very underrepresented when it comes to clinical trials. So we've made a real commitment that the way we've built Transform is to directly tackle some of those health inequities, specifically in black men. So we've committed to inviting 1 in 10, all men invited will be from the black community. And that will finally be able to understand what that prostate cancer diagnostic pathway is like for black men, and try to get some of the answers to some of the big questions as to why black men are twice as likely to get prostate cancer and why they're twice as likely to die from their prostate cancer. So this trial is such a once-in-a-generation trial, actually. It's a very, very exciting day for us at Prostate Cancer UK that we're finally getting those letters out to men.
Let's hope it makes a big difference. Cara, thanks very much indeed for joining us on Calendar. Thank you.
You're watching Friday's Calendar. Thank you for being with us this evening. Still to come on tonight's programme, the job of the day for one of our reporters.
Join me later to find out why staff and volunteers at Kingsmill Hospital are going way above and beyond the call of duty for their hospital's charity. Help me, Superman!
And those daytime and overnight temperatures went down a slippery slope during the last couple of days, but as we head towards the weekend, recovering a little but becoming more unsettled. All the detail a little later on.
Let's take in some more stories from around the Calendar region. And a man accused of killing his ex-partner's sister and 3 children in a house fire has said he accidentally spilled the petrol which started the blaze. Bryony Gowerth and her 3 children died in the fire in Bradford last year. 40-year-old Sharaz Ali is alleged to have poured the petrol around the house before lighting it. His ex, Antonia Gowerth, was staying there at the time after ending their relationship. Ali has denied the charges and the trial continues.
A 35-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of murder after a missing man was found dead at a former brewery. The body of 40-year-old Andrew Bray, also known as Andrew Boltwood, was discovered inside the site on Willow Lane in Huddersfield on Wednesday. Officers arrested a man last night who remains in custody for questioning.
A driver who killed an aspiring young doctor in a hit and run in Leeds has been jailed. 19-year-old Ashton Kitchen-White was crossing the road on the ring road at Beeston Park when he was hit by a Ford Focus ST in May. He died at the scene. The driver, Regan Kemp, left the scene and fled to Scotland. A video recorded inside the car showed Kemp speeding moments before the collision. Kemp, from Cornwall, was jailed for 15 years and 6 months and disqualified from driving for 17 years.
Well, the ITV Evening News continues at 6:30. Here's Find Out What's Happening with Lucrezia Millarini.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News, energy bills head in the wrong direction again as the regulator raises the price cap. Reform UK's former leader in Wales is sentenced to 10 years in prison for taking Russian bribes. And a 5-wicket fight back in Australia will bring you the best moments from a thrilling opening day at the Ashes. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Thanks, Lucrezia. Now then, are you happy with your smile, I wonder? Well, if not, you might be interested in this item because there are warnings about the damage being caused by some teeth whitening products that can be purchased online.
There are strict rules about the strength of whitening products and who can carry out procedures, but the cost is forcing some people desperate for a perfect smile to turn to the internet to buy DIY kits.
And some people have been left with lifelong damage, as Amrit Birdie reports.
A perfect Hollywood smile. That's what many of Gayla Farah's dental patients are hoping for when they visit her clinic in Sheffield for professional teeth whitening. But growing numbers are turning to cheaper at-home whitening kits bought online instead.
By far the biggest issue with unregulated whitening is that you are applying an unknown and untested product to your teeth. The use of these products can cause serious issues such as chemical burns, gum recession, scarring, extreme sensitivity, and dentists only recommend the use of safe products with controlled strengths.
These DIY kits, often sold as strips or gels, aren't regulated in the same way as professional treatments, and some can contain dangerous amounts of bleaching agent, hydrogen peroxide.
So once you've actually expressed the gel onto the outer surface of the tooth, what happens is it actually goes from the enamel to the dentine into the pulp region. So you are actually essentially bleaching from the inside out. But that's also explaining to you why you wouldn't want to use something that's illegally high percentage hydrogen peroxide administered by your dentist. We would never use anything beyond 6% hydrogen peroxide. So anything above that, you're looking at risks to the patient.
In the lab, Dr. Shalini's colleagues tested several gels she bought through links on social media to see what they contained, and the results were astounding.
So tell me, what were the findings from this experiment?
A number of products, they contain hydrogen peroxide up to 5 times the level that is permitted by the regulations. And this is a quite serious concern because it can cause damage to teeth.
The Department for Business and Trade told ITV News that all cosmetic products sold in the UK, including teeth whitening gels, must meet their high standards to be considered safe, and if necessary, they'll remove products from the market. But with so many people buying these kits online, it's hard to control what's being sold. Dr. Shalini says the best thing we can do is educate people about the dangers instead.
You could end up with chemical burns because if you're applying it to your teeth, you do get some on your gums as well. So you could end up actually injuring and damaging your gums and teeth. So there's a situation where if you're using really high percentage hydrogen peroxide, you could be causing irreversible inflammation to the tooth pulp, which means your tooth can be irreversibly damaged.
When it comes to achieving a perfect pearly white smile, going DIY may not be worth the risk. Amrit Birdie, ITV News.
Now, it's been a brisk couple of days out there, and in North Yorkshire, 6 schools remained closed today after Thursday's snow. The majority of schools affected have been in the Scarborough and Whitby area. And in the Yorkshire Dales, a mountain rescue team was called to help a couple after their dog got stuck in a precarious position on the ice. Higher routes around Pickering and Kirkby Misperton do remain pretty treacherous as well. Well, Kerry is with us now, and it's been quite the contrast, though, for many today, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, we should say thankfully, a really different story today because, yes, it remained cold and it was still very icy where there was any snow cover or snow melt during the latter part of this morning. But, oh my goodness, so much sunshine. So I've got a compare and contrast for you. So this was Scarborough yesterday. Very bleak, very wintry, bitterly cold, but this was Scarborough today. Oh, wow. So beautiful. And another compare and contrast I've got for you is this. This is actually a high-resolution satellite image from NASA, from space. You can see those showers out in the North Sea still today. This is today's snapshot, but what looks like cloud over the North York Moors, the Yorkshire Wolds and down the Pennines is actually snow cover. But if I just run the sequence for the cloud cover that we've had today, you can see it doesn't move, of course, the snow, but we have had some cloud coming in from the northwest, and that is going to change the story for the weekend. Of course, the forecast is coming up. It depends what you like. If you like it cold and crisp, you probably won't get that
nice
this
for
weekend.
walks, isn't it, when it's like that?
Yeah, cold. I mean, look, it's a winter wonderland. It's starting to look really wintry now, isn't it? This is Garden on the Walls. A big thank you to Julie for sharing. Sharon took a walk from Burnsill to Grassington, just a little bit of no bother, whispery cirrus cloud around, a hard frost here, Ulley Reservoir in Rotherham. A big thank you to Keith, and also some really smashing sunrise and sunsets. This is Maltby in South York, so you can see how crispy it is in the foreground there. A big thank you to Kev, and also still some lying snow on the beach this evening in Bridlington. A big thank you to Angela. So there you go. It's all changed as we head through into the weekend.
Shows you just how cold it is, doesn't it?
Yeah, still chilly for the weekend, but not as, you know, wintry. Certainly, we lose the wintry hazards, thankfully, for a couple of days.
Very good. I tell you what, those pictures make me feel cold just looking at them.
Oh, they're good though, aren't they?
They're very good.
They're lovely at this time of year.
We love your pictures. Thank you, Kerry. We'll see you shortly. Now then, Emma, it's a big weekend if you're into dancing.
Well, I was when I was young. In fact, I did a lot
Really?
of dancing when I was young. Yeah, a bit of ballet, a bit of tap.
Oh.
What about you? Are you a dancer?
Well, I didn't like tap dancing because I was always worried I'd fall in the sink.
Oh, well, I can give you some lessons.
Good. Well, couples from our region have travelled to Blackpool for the National Dance Championships, and they're competing in the world-famous Empress Ballroom.
And to make it even more special, this year is the 50th anniversary of the competition. James Webster reports.
In British dancing, it doesn't get much bigger than this. With 500 dances over 4 days, this is the National Dance Championships. And they've travelled here from all corners of the country. Max is here from Sheffield with Sophia, who moved here from Ukraine 3 years ago. They've been dancing together for 18 months.
I've been coming to Blackpool with my parents every year since I was 3, I think. And it was actually here that I decided that I wanted to start to dance. So I love this competition. It's such a brilliant ballroom, and the history of it's honestly amazing.
I love it. I love competition. I love some training camp. And I love to dance with Max. It's funny and every day interesting and different.
At Blackpool's Empress Ballroom, the appeal of the old-time dance digs down into the mothballs.
The world-famous dance floor here has a long history. This was an international event in 1946. But this event too has its own proud history. Event organisers are this year celebrating its 50th anniversary.
This ballroom for dancers is the most iconic ballroom. It's where everyone strives to dance. To be quite honest, I think it just gets in your blood. From a child, I used to come in and watch, and I used to earn my pocket money putting trophies together. And I think from there, just watching it's just so energetic, it's so visual, and it's so passionate. You can't not like it.
1, 2, 3.
This weekend's performances have been months in the planning. The finishing touches have to be perfect, and dancers are practising until the last moment. Olivia's also here from Sheffield with her dance partner, Mikhailo.
We just get each other, and it's just fun. And I think because Misha's such a good dancer, I feel like I can just do what I do and enjoy, and not have to stress like, oh, what's he doing? I just think we match really well. And we both love dancing, and we both love it so much, so when we dance together, it's like even more love for dance.
Over the weekend, there's 60 hours of competitive dancing, a mixture of Latin, ballroom and solo categories. 300 trophies will be awarded. Professional dancer Darren Bennett from Sheffield is one of the judges.
Dance is moving to music. So, of course, we're looking for that musicality. We're looking for them to work with the music. We have an amazing band here with the Empress Orchestra. My hope this weekend is that we see some absolutely amazing dancing, we see some talented couples, giving it all.
Although everyone here is pleased to just be performing in this historic venue, the competition is fierce and everyone is determined to show off the very best of their dancing. James Webster, ITV News, Blackpool.
Have you ever done that?
No, I was never quite that good, but one day maybe I'll get back to it.
Brilliant.
Well, it's time for some sport now, and it's Derby weekend in Sheffield.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Well, yes, this weekend the city of Sheffield will be split in two. You will either be red and white or blue and white for the Steel City Derby.
Yes, both Sheffield United and Wednesday have had little to cheer so far this season, with both sides sitting in the Championship relegation zone.
With the all-important bragging rights on the line, both sets of fans are hoping their team comes out on top, of course. Well, Arif Ahmed reports.
Nick, this is Stevie. Stevie, this is Nick.
Hi, Stevie.
Evening, mate. You okay?
Yeah, good, thanks. You?
Yeah, got a weekend of it coming up, haven't we?
Two passionate football fans experiencing two difficult seasons. In the blue corner is Stevie, a Sheffield Wednesday fan. His team are in administration, bottom of the Championship, and with just one league win to their name. In the red corner is Nick, a Sheffield United fan. His team are just 2 places above the Owls in the relegation zone and have won just one of the last 4 matches. Does it make you happy knowing the other team in the city are also struggling?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because if we lose to Sheffield Wednesday with all the problems that they've got off the pitch and clearly on it as well, having not too many professional adults, shall we say, on the pitch, it's going to be quite embarrassing for us, in my opinion.
I feel much better knowing that they're struggling, given everything that they've done over the summer in terms of money spent, transfer activity, expectations coming into the season. To see them where they are makes me feel a lot better about life.
One man that's seen more derbies than most is Liam Palmer. He's been blue and white since childhood and a product of the Wednesday Academy. He knows the secret to win a fixture like this.
It's very important to remain calm and, fire in the heart, but have a cool head and kind of, as an experienced player, I've seen these derby games before where it can get a little bit, like you'd expect, feisty in certain elements, but you don't need any extra motivation for a fixture like this one.
The Blades have been blunt in front of goal this season. The league's lowest scorers hope the signing of former Leeds striker Patrick Bamford will bring a sharpness back to their play.
Well, you couldn't really ask for a bigger game to obviously be involved in, especially for your first game. So I'm really excited for it. It's a pretty good ground for me, I'll be honest. I think, yeah. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but I've had some good moments there. Most times I go.
So how does this play out then on Sunday afternoon?
I'm not expecting to win, but I'm more confident than I was maybe 6 months ago of being able to get a result against United.
I'm more than confident that we'll get at least, a narrow win in this game. There's no better time to go to Hillsborough, really take it to them, get a goal early on, and what's stopping us coming away with a 2-3, 4-0 win? Super confident, as you can tell.
He's gone from we might nick a win to we're going to win 4-0.
Arif there speaking to fans Nick and Stevie. And of course, you can watch the Steel City Derby on Sunday lunchtime live on ITV1. Now to the Premier League, and Leeds United are looking to ease the pressure on manager Daniel Farke. The Whites are just a point outside the relegation zone, having lost their last 3 games. They are, though, in better form at Elland Road, the venue for Sunday's game against Aston Villa. Farke says it's important for everyone to remain positive.
Sometimes even this lads, over the course of 38 game days, have a bit poorer period or a bit poorer length of results, and could be also sometimes back-to-back losses in away games. But for me, it's also important, like, to back them and to be there for them, and then to be there like a shield, and to make sure that we go with positivity into the next game.
To cricket, and it's been an incredible start to the Ashes down under, with 19 wickets falling on the first day. England found themselves in trouble early on against the Aussies. Sheffield's Joe Root was out for a duck after lasting just 7 balls. Burley and Wharfdale's Harry Brooks somewhat steadied the ship as he top scored with 52, as England posted a score of just 172, and the bowlers fared much better than the batters. Aussie opener Jake Weatherald, who played 2 seasons for Woolly Miners in Barnsley, was out for a duck on debut. Australia ended the day 123 for 9.
Yeah, quite the day in Australia.
Absolutely.
Well, finally tonight, Ian, what do cops, robbers, bunny rabbits, elves and Helen Steele have in common?
Now, that's quite a line-up. That's a funny combination, if ever there wasn't. I have absolutely no idea, Emma.
Well, I will tell you. They've all abseiled down Kingsmill Hospital's tallest building today, some more proficiently than others, I'm told. The staff there are raising money for Sherwood Forest Hospital's charity. Here's Helen Steele.
I don't look down. I'm terrified.
Call the midwife, and this isn't how they usually respond. Sarah and Katie are community midwives for Kingsmill Hospital. But today they're doing this for charity, dressed as cops and robbers. They might be taking your money, but they've certainly earned it.
How did you feel? Feels amazing now. Now we've kind of done it and we're on the floor. But yeah, it feels amazing that we've kind of been a part of such a big event. Call the midwife. They go around in bicycles. I mean, this is a new take on that, right? Maybe we could just abseil into people's houses. Yeah.
And it wasn't just them taking on the 6-story challenge. We had Sean from Finance.
I have so many questions. First one, why are you a bunny?
I'm a bunny because one of the guys that actually sponsored me 50 quid said I've got to dress up, and it's they said a rugby playing bunny, so this is the outfit that I came up with.
And you might think this job looks like one for Superman, but even he struggled.
It was certainly a challenge just to get over the threshold, but the guys at the top are really helpful and really encouraging.
And it's a good job they were.
Simon, can I just film you instead?
That wasn't possible, so I took on the challenge to see what all the fuss was about.
Why did I say yes to this?
Turns out it's quite tricky.
Well, staff and volunteers have managed to raise more than £30,000 by doing this, and I'd say it's way above the call of duty.
The money raised by Sherwood Hospital's charity has already brought in an ultrasound scanner and kits for home births. And the midwives are looking forward to spending more.
When I put in for some more equipment for the antenatal class, it'll be worth it. I'll be like, I did abseil, so can we have a bit of money?
As you all know, the hospitals that we run are fundamental to the care for everybody in our community. Loads of people locally will have either been treated here or had loved ones who were treated here. And our hospital charities help to fund things over and above what we'd normally get in the NHS. So great initiatives, extra bits of kit and equipment and things like that can really help our patients.
Well, that wasn't as easy as it looks. Let's hope they've raised plenty of money and I'll have an easy day in the office, please, tomorrow.
At least it's Saturday, eh? You could see the genuine terror in her face.
I know, and delivering what we call a piece to camera on the way down.
I
That's
know.
pretty
Very
impressive, I have to say.
Very impressive. Well, now here's Kerry with the weather.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello again. Yes, a cold, frosty and icy start first thing this morning. But of course, the prize was plenty of sunshine, largely dry and clear, at least for the first half of course, the very short days at the moment. As we head into the weekend, it becomes a little less cold, but more unsettled and often quite windy at times. High pressure keeping things settled today, but this front lingering tomorrow, and then an area of low pressure coming in from the northwest that will sit over us on Sunday, again producing bands of rain and potentially some strong winds at times. So in a little bit more detail for this evening, an early frost under the clearer skies, but cloud building all the while from the north and west and into the early hours towards dawn. Showery outbreaks of rain, heavy at times, and the winds strengthening, and if anything, those temperatures from that early frost rising into the early hours as we head towards tomorrow morning. So not as pretty tomorrow morning at sunrise as it was this morning, 7:45 and 3:59 ISN times as we head into Saturday. Unsettled for the morning, cloudy skies, outbreaks of rain. There'll be some mist and murk as well as the system exits its way south and eastwards. Some gusty winds with the weather front, but behind it they will become a little bit lighter and it will become drier and brighter. So an improving story from the northwest as we head through into the afternoon. And then as we head into Sunday, we are expecting the low pressure system to work its way in, producing a band of rain working from west to east, maybe a brief respite before further showers. Temperatures average at best, and then a slightly chillier Monday or Tuesday, and then milder from midweek.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
There There you go, a bit more unsettled. But here's some good news for Friday. The shortest day is just a month away, so we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there.
I can't believe it.
I know.
News. Well, that's it for now, though. I'm back at 10:30. The Kretzia is next. See you later.
Have a great weekend, won't you? Good night.
Bye.